What's up guys, in this video you will be able to see a full training session of me with Teego, and up front I just want to say that I am in no way, shape or form a professional trainer, and I absolutely, half of the time at least, do not know what I'm doing, so I'm not suggesting you copy what I'm doing. But I found that there isn't a lot of content online about working with young horses, especially like horses before they are ridden. Like Teego right now is 2 years old, so I thought that I could try to fill that content gap a little bit so that maybe others who are raising their horses at home can find some source of inspiration from it, maybe to see what works, what doesn't work. But yeah, I'm not trying to suggest that the way I am doing it is the right way at all. I had two goals for today's training session, and that is to get Teego walk over trotting poles in a somewhat confident manner and to expose him to an umbrella, because I don't think he has seen that in his life before, at least not with me, and I thought it would be fun to try and see what he does when he sees it. I laid out two trotting poles, one where I actually want him to go over and one on the side to kind of give him some sort of help with balance, maybe because before I only put down one pole and he would just try to get around it, basically to get like the easy way out. So I thought that maybe putting one down like this would help with that. So I started off with just holding the umbrella and seeing what he does. He is quite a curious horse, so I assumed correctly that he would come at it once he saw it, and then I just decided to play around with its positioning a little bit to see how he reacts. Teego doesn't have the best attention span yet, and I do not expect that of him since he's only 2, so I am more than fine with it when he walks away or doesn't pay attention to me anymore. That's just kind of part of the deal right now, and I either try to gain his attention again or I just let him go and explore whatever has gotten his attention instead. Teego is quite bitey though, so I am trying to keep him from biting the umbrella too much at some points. Here he scared a little, which in turn scared me a little because I didn't expect it, so that's the little jumping. Some nice petting in between. Just waiting for him to give me his attention again. Was another horse coming. Stealing a little grass. Normally at this time of the year they would be out on the field 24/7, but because we had a lot of very dry weeks followed by 2 very wet weeks, they are now on the paddock 24/7 instead, because the field just couldn't handle it anymore. So we hope that by the end of this week or next week they can start going out to the field again. And just flapping the umbrella a little bit. He doesn't seem too impressed. There he tried to bite my hand, so I whacked him a little bit. Another horse coming. So obviously that's more interesting than me. Getting some snacks again. Here I decided to give up on the umbrella for a bit and try with the trotting poles because I was just really happy with his reaction to the umbrella. For the past 2 weeks we've been trying to go over trotting poles, and at first he was really scared to do so. So then I decided to go back, and instead of trying to get him over a trotting pole, getting him to step over a lunge line instead, and he even found that quite scary. So that kind of confirmed for me that it was right to go back a little bit. But we did that 2 times with the lunge line, and then we went to the outside arena for the first time, which has a little step which he didn't dare to go on before, but he did that immediately without any problem. And then a few days ago we went on the washing bay for the first time, which has a pretty high step of about 25 to 30 centimeters maybe. So I was quite surprised when he was willing to go on that as well. So that gave me a lot of confidence to try with the trotting poles again today. And he did that really well. He actually went over it way faster than I expected. And here you can see me trying to get him a treat, but getting a little bit mixed up in the lead rope, which makes it look quite clumsy. And here I wish I had given him more of a break after going over the pole for the first time. But yeah, in the moment I was just like, oh, let's do it again if you did it this well, and kind of forgot about just giving him a good break. So yeah, not the end of the world that I didn't do it, but I wish I would have done that, and I would do that differently looking back on it now. You can see he's quite hesitant to go over it a second time, and then in a few seconds I think you will see the umbrella blowing by in the frame, so I decided it was more important to get the umbrella before it flew away. So I just like unhooked him for a second and then decided that that would be a good time for a break. And instead of being scared of it, he decided to follow me to the umbrella. He's really just a very curious boy. Yeah, I'm trying to prevent him from eating some of the labels still in the umbrella. I was actually quite surprised that he went in between the umbrella and the trotting pole so calmly, so I was really happy with that. And then he decided he needed to investigate the sheep, or one sheep actually. The other sheep were somewhere else at that point. But yeah, Teego a few months ago was very scared of sheep, but now that he's seen them quite a lot, he actually really enjoys them and can entertain himself by staring at them for quite a long time. Yeah, I decided he would be ready to go again, so we're just trying to get over the pole again. I still find it quite difficult to kind of determine when he needs a break or when he is ready to work again, but I found that just like trying to trust on your instincts, and I also do get groundwork lessons sometimes, it helps. But in the end it's just kind of knowing your horse and trying to do your best. That's all you can do. He went over the poles really well, like better than I expected, so I was really happy with that. And I would love to like extensively pet him after every time he does it, but he just does not have the patience for that, so unfortunately that is apparently not something he actually wants. Back to playing with the umbrella a bit to just see what he does, see if he's okay with me holding it above him while I'm standing at his side instead of right in front of him. He seemed absolutely fine with that, a little bit tense but nothing too severe. Back to the trotting poles. seeing if he can eat it. The umbrella blowing away again. He's getting way more comfortable with hitting his hoofs on the pole, which before it would send him into a frenzy, and now he has learned that that is really okay, that the poles aren't going to attack him. One thing I am noticing in my own body language here is that I'm getting a little bit like insecure about where he's gonna go. The first few times where we tried a trotting pole, he had a tendency to almost basically like jump onto me, so I got a little bit hesitant to be in his way a little bit when we're trying the trotting poles or stepping over anything in general. So I am seeing that I'm getting a little bit more like, please stay away from me, which isn't like it's logical, but it isn't ideal, so that is something I will try to work on. Some scratches. He was scratching himself on his belly, so I decided to scratch for him, and he really enjoyed it. He's trying to eat my hand again. He sneaked by the pole again, cheeky little bugger. And what I'm trying to do is not really pull at him. I want him to go over the pole because he feels secure enough to do so, and not because I am pressuring him to do so. Oh, the little hesitating legs. He just put one hoof over the pole, and I actually was really happy with that, because I would rather he put only one hoof over it without panicking than going all four hoofs with a little bit of panic in his body. So I was actually really happy with that. Yeah, I'm just trying to be patient, letting him figure it out. If he wants to sniff on some of the other poles, that's fine, as long as we eventually try to get over the one we've been going over the whole time. His little flamingo legs. And what I'm trying to prevent is his hind end sliding under his body too much, because he does have the tendency to do that, and he has actually slipped because of that in the past, and I don't want that to happen again. So here I was quite satisfied, and I was actually thinking about just ending it here. Like, usually my training sessions with Teego are a little bit shorter than this, because he usually indicates that he's done with it faster. but today he actually had quite a big attention bucket, shall we say. So I didn't really see him showing any of the signs he usually does when he tries to communicate that he's done and he doesn't want to do it anymore. So that's why today's session went on for a little bit longer. Usually it's more like 15 to 20 minutes. And today, right at a time where I thought, let's end it, I think he's done, we had this little running thing happening. I'm still not really sure what exactly he saw that made him feel the need to run, but it was fine, and I just tried to stay as calm as I could and let him run for a little bit, because I mean he could use to work on his conditioning, and he has learned to not really pull away as much. So even though you will see me sometimes getting pulled a little bit, yeah, that's quite logical because I'm only holding on to a lead rope instead of like a lunge line, so we have a little bit of less space to work with. He did start to walk really pretty from his heightened state of stress. So I just, once again, tried to stay as calm as I could. Just letting him get it out of his system, and at some point I even started encouraging him to move a little bit, because I would rather that he works out his stress by working a little bit than just by standing still and building up the stress until he explodes. And I found with him that as long as I keep him moving a little bit, even if he trots or gallops, he's like more manageable than when I let him stand still for too long, because he then really starts to explode in his energy, and then it becomes less fun for the both of us. Look at that pretty boy go. I do hope that I don't sound too bored, by the way. This is the first time doing like a proper voiceover, so still learning. And here once again I'm just encouraging him to move because I see his tension building and I just want to get it out of his system before it starts to become too much. The little flapping hand on my part isn't very strong communication, I think. It's something that I'm trying to stop, but I unconsciously am not always that like strong and clear in my body language. Here I'm just trying to get him to move a little bit to the left, so I put the rope pressure, like I'm not hitting him with it or anything, so I'm just like trying to create some pressure in the area I don't want him to be in. But I'm still learning with that technique as well, and I don't always use it in the most effective way, but still learning. And here I just was waiting for him to calm down a little bit again until I saw his stress level drop completely. And I wanted to go over the pole one more time, which he snuck past again, which is fine. So we did it. So we just tried it again. And once we went over it one more time, I was like, that's fine. That's the last one, and then we can be done for today. He's a good boy. Here he started an attack on my hands again. Mostly licking, sometimes biting. Still trying to teach him not to do that. I was actually making really good progress with it, but for the past 2 to 3 weeks he's been really bitey again. So that's quite annoying, but we'll just deal with it. Just cleaning up the poopies, giving him a scare with the umbrella unintentionally. It actually had started to rain here, so that's more so why I was holding the umbrella and then training him. But after his little scare, I decided it was probably best to put it down. And always when I start scooping his poop, he needs to be there, and usually he starts playing with the scooper. Here he was distracted by the umbrella instead. But I do think in a later moment he will still grab the scooper. And I actually don't really mind him grabbing the scooper. I'm just always scared that he will throw out all of the poop I just scooped into it. One more moment with the umbrella, and then it's just all done for today. And I really hope you enjoyed watching this. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I did really enjoy making it. At first I was kind of scared to put my camera or my phone on a tripod and film myself because it feels a little bit pretentious, but no one looked at me weird, so I can definitely do it in the future as well. It's just kind of like an awkwardness I have to get over. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it and that you have a lovely rest of your day.